Hey guys, welcome and welcome back to another YouTube video. If you're new on here, my name is Tonia. I'm a travel and a lifestyle vlogger based in Italy, and you are totally and completely free to smash the subscribe button, okay? Break it, destroy it, and do whatever you like with it. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you guys my scars and how I got them, my insecurities and how I overcome them, or how I handle them. A lot of people are ashamed of topics like this. A lot of people don't talk about things like this, but I am not one of those people, okay? I am not ashamed to share my experience or what I've lived, because your scars makes you beautiful. I know this song, your scars makes you beautiful, your scars makes you beautiful. So the first one that comes into my mind is the one on my leg. So what had happened was that, if you don't know, I grew up in a very humble background, and some days we couldn't afford 3 square meals a day. And due to this reason, sometimes like we had to, do what we gotta do. So one of these days I wasn't giving money to school, because that was just one of those days that I couldn't afford to eat in school. So on our way back from school, we were so hungry, and I was the smallest. When you're the smallest in the group, the big ones intimidate you into doing things. So there's this particular house that is right on the path where we go home through. That house had a mango tree, so they made me climb on top of the tree. And while I was plucking the mango, the owner of the house came out and was like, "Hey, who is that?" Like he just started, like screaming at us, and everybody ran away and left me on top of the fence. Because they helped me to climb on top of the fence, so I needed their help to come back down. We're like 6 or 7, those young middle school age. So that was our bad, but then we were hungry and we were kids and we were naive, so we did what we gotta do. So everybody left me there, so I had to fend for myself. I had to jump. So that place where we climbed the fence through was like a little dumpster where they dumped stuff. So one of the dirt there was a used toilet, and when I jumped down, I actually cut myself with it unknowingly. But at that point things are hot and you wouldn't even know what's going on. So I kept running, and when I got to where my friends were finally waiting for me safely, safely away, while they left me there to get strangled, when I got to them, everybody was looking at me strange, like, and I was like, I see you, see me, see you, see me. Why are you guys staring at me? And everybody said, "Tonia, you are bleeding." Hey, father. I was like, bleeding where? Because of the trauma and like what just happened, I couldn't feel the pain. So I was bleeding, and I had a very deep cut in my leg, but I didn't even know it. Like I couldn't feel it, but I was bleeding and running. So when they saw it and told me, that was when I started feeling the pain, because now I was in reality, So they took me home to my grandma, and trust African parents, she first of all beat the living daylight out of B before she took me to the chemist. Okay, she beat me because that was not my mango. I wasn't supposed to be on top of there cutting it in the first place, because it wasn't mine. The second scar on my body that I'd like to show you guys, which is something that I still kind of feel like crying when I think about, is the scar on my knees. So when I was much younger, I knelt down a lot due to different punishments, not because I was a bad child, but simply because that was just the way most African parents knew how to train up a child, by making them scared. And they had a lot of inhumane way of training kids in the African home. And it was just unfortunate for me, because I grew up in a military background, so I was kind of handled that way with the military strength. So a lot of times, even though I was a very good child, like my auntie can attest, I was never a troublesome child. But of course, as a child, there were times that I did things that children do, so I got beaten a lot. And even though it is quite funny now, then it wasn't. I tell you, I knelt down for almost 12 hours, and I knelt down while holding like a stool, or like sometimes books, or just anything that he can find. He will make me kneel down and hold them. And even in school, we knelt down a lot as punishment, and that's how I got all those scars on my knees. The next scar that I'm going to be showing you guys is this scar. I am very proud of this scar. Okay, this scar happened because I didn't snitch. Okay,
snitches snitches get stitches.
But yeah, what happened was, while we were in high school, secondary school for some other people, what had happened was there was this copper. For those who are from Nigeria, you will know what copper is. They're like students that just finish uni, so they put them into training, and most of them go to schools to teach students. So she was teaching us, and a student made fun of her, or like when she said something, the person mimicked her and said it in a funny way, and everybody in class busted laughing. Okay, so in school I was one of those people that stood out a lot. So senior high school, I was the social prefect or the assistant social prefect, you know, so people knew me a lot. So as somebody that stands out a lot, when that thing happened and she asked who said that, nobody said anything. Everybody was like, you know, just pretending as if they didn't hear her just ask a question. And she pointed me out specifically because I always stand out, which is not always a good thing. She was like, Tonia, tell me who said that. In my head I was like, first of all, I will not be telling you that, because after you leave, my classmates are gonna snitches get stitches me. So no, you're not about to get nothing from me. But anyways, I know that any of them could have done the same thing for me. So when she asked me who did it, I just said I didn't know. They made every single person go out of the class, and they made us all kneel down. Another kneel issues. And they made us all kneel down, and while we were kneeling down, she said that she asked me specifically who did it, and I said I didn't know, and she was very sure I did because I know every single classmate of mine. So the teacher flogged me very mercilessly, okay, and that's how I got that scar. You guys, kids of nowadays, you guys, they have it so good, because now if you were to hit a child so much that you give them a scar, you're definitely going to jail. But not in those days. Like, if you even report your parents, you'll be like, hey, it's good for you, you're too stubborn, you know. So that's how I got that scar on my hand. Talking about insecurities, one of my biggest insecurity so far is my birthmark. I used to just think it was like a sunburn or something, because apparently there were times in my life where the birthmark disappeared. So 2 years ago was when my mom told me I was actually born like that, but it is one of those birthmarks that, you know, at a stage in life it disappears and then it reappears again. And even a professional dermatologist, she had told me before that she even showed me a particular birthmark that she didn't have until she was 21 years old, and it just appeared. So there are birthmarks like that you get them at birth and then they disappear and reappear. That's this particular problem with that birthmark. The left side of my face is darker than every single part of my body, and also around my eyes are quite dark, and trust me, I have spent a lot of money trying to get rid of it when I was you know, just still in the world, okay. I will go on Instagram, I will buy everything, I will try everything on YouTube that people say to apply. None of them worked because it's a birthmark, and I guess in the future things like surgery can get rid of something like that, but for now I can't afford anything like that, so I have it. A lot of people tell me it makes you look beautiful, which I know is a very big lie. People just tell you things like that to make you feel good about yourself. I've gotten a lot more comfortable with it as the years has gone by. Like, I used to be way more cautious about it, but now, like, I am not as cautious about it as I used to be. But time to time when I see people with all this perfect skin, I'm like, God, why? You know. But yeah, that's one insecurity that I've had for a very long time. The second one currently is my acne, which is so bad that you can visually see it through my makeup, okay. It gets really good and then it gets really bad. It just has its moments, but it's been happening. It started late 2018 and it has just not stopped till now. A lot of people tell me it's just a phase, it will go, it will pass. It's been almost 2 years and it hasn't passed. And I used to be so cautious about it because aside my birthmark, I've never really dealt with any kind of skin issues prior to my acne. So the only thing I've ever been cautious about is my birthmark, but not a real skin issue. I've never really been the type that has suffered from things like eczema or rashes or acne. None of that. I've always had really perfect skin. The only time I had like 1 or 2 acne on my face would be during my period, which always goes with my period. It comes and goes with my period just like that. But I tell you, it is one of the worst feelings. Like when I got acne, I appreciated my birthmark. I was like, God, if you make this acne go away, I will never complain about my birthmark. You know how sometimes you don't appreciate what you have until you lose it. In my case, I appreciated my birthmark more when I got another kind of skin problem that I didn't like, you know. But recently I have found out that it is more of an internal thing. It's about what I eat. I found out that whenever I eat eggs or cow milk, I break out a lot. But if I was to stop eating any sort of milk or dairy, basically dairy products, my face will totally clear out. But the thing is, I don't want to restrict myself from enjoying things that I enjoy simply because of this. So another insecurity that I can think about right now that I used to have, I don't have them anymore, is that I used to be so small and then my boobs used to be so big, because the size of my boobs that you see now has been in existence since I was 14 years old. Like immediately I clocked 14, my boobs were like poof, they just came out. So I was way too small at 14 for the size of the boobs that I had. So it made me look like my boobs was too gigantic for my body to carry, and for that I kind of bent a lot because it felt like my boobs was too heavy for me. But now I have kind of grown into my boobs. They're not as big as they were when I was 14 years old because it didn't grow more, it just has been there. So I've just kind of grown into them. So guys, that's basically it for that. But I want to say one thing: accept yourself the way you are, because until you accept you, nobody will accept you. Okay, if you have any insecurities, birthmarks, scars that you would like to share with us, do leave that in the comment section. Let us know how you got that scar. Let us know about your insecurity. I promise you, sometimes when you talk about things, you feel better about them. And don't be ashamed to be you. Don't be ashamed to be beautiful every single day. Carry your head high and know that there are bigger things in life than just the way you look physically. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoy watching this video, don't forget to give me a thumbs up and smash the subscribe button if you're new. Break it, destroy it, and do whatever you like with it. And I'll see you guys in my next one. Ciao.